What percentage of people do I think is successful at being inventors? Oh, probably low. Probably something like 10%.
I believe it's around 5%.
If I were to guess, I'd say about 10-12%.
Ron Dosey, author of the Inventor's Bible, says perhaps 2% of all patents are commercialized, and fewer than this make enough money to pay for the initial expenses. Inventors are consumed with ideas. Unfortunately, for many who take the next step, financial success proves elusive. Some go bankrupt. Families pay the price for failure while others waste time, effort, and money.
It's not their fault. It's a broken system. And we at Invention Stories want to be part of the solution. Invention Stories is a website where people can come and see the story of how people came or started off with an idea and what they did with that idea, both good and bad, useful, wasteful, expensive, inexpensive. Every product that you see started off as an idea, and maybe you have an idea and you want to know what it takes to go from an idea to being a product on a shelf or a multi-millionaire or billionaire. And this gives you a good place to start. Great ideas, everybody has them. But what have you done with your last great idea? Did you follow it, or did you say, hey, why should I? Somebody's just going to steal it. All we hear are the success stories. But that's only a small part of it. We want to hear your story. So I invite you to watch the Invention Stories program. And when you're done, come visit our website. Come share your story.
I'm Ty Armstrong Sr., TNA Candy Beers, President, CEO. It goes back about 4 years ago when a lady friend of mine was tasting one of my summer beers. I thought it was a really good beer, and so did she, but she said she liked the beer, but she didn't like the bitter taste. And she said, you should try to experiment with infusing some sweetness in some beers. So that's when we came up with the candy beer concept. And this is where we are today. Beers are brewed with the four, basic foundation in the beer family. We're doing a little something different here because we're infusing in-house homemade candies, fresh fruits, and exotic teas in our beers. That's what makes these beers unique. Everybody, welcome to the TNA Condo Kitchen. A lot of people have been wondering about what we've been doing in the kitchen for a while, and I'm going to explain what's jumping off here. First of all, we got the Hurricane Cosmo in primary fermentation. Primary fermentation means that this is the first stage of the fermentation process where we're putting the wort into the fermenter, we're adding the yeast, and we're watching the fermentation take place. The bubbles mean that the CO2 is being brought up through here, and the yeast is eating the sugars in here, which creates the alcohol. So that's the first part of primary fermentation. Usually goes about 7 to 10 days, and that's the Hurricane Cosmo. The Cosmo's got a lot of stuff in it. Next we got the Mojito Candy Ale, which was brought to me by Judy, my girl. She told me about the mojito thing and challenged me to make a mojito beer. So we got all things together and got this in the process, and you can see this is fermenting. This has only been going for a day. It's in first day primary fermentation. It'll probably be another 7 to 10 days, and then we'll jump over to the secondary, which is the strawberry haze, which means after the primary fermentation is completed, the secondary fermentation takes place, which we will take this beer and siphon this beer to this fermenter and leave it for another 7 to 10 days to clear out the yeast and clear out all the gunk. We'll siphon this off to our brewing bottles. We'll cap them up, and then we'll take another 7 to 10 days to carbonate. And that's when you have beer. So this is kind of what we do in the TNA Candy Beer Kitchen.
We've been invited to the Santa Barbara Wine Festival, which is one of the largest wine festivals in California. Ty was the only craft brewer invited to that, and there were 4 other breweries there, and everybody really came around our booth. They really liked the beer. So we've been to that. We've been to the Ojai Beer Festival last year and had a great showing there as well. At Santa Barbara, there was an article written on the event mentioning TNA Candy Beer, so that was really wonderful. So we've been to quite a few shows like that where we can take our beer and give samples to people.
It's Local Edition. I'm Brett Pomerantz. Thank you so much for joining us. We are joined by Ty Armstrong Sr. He is with TNA Hard Candy Ale. Yes, it's candy beer. It is a company that is just starting out of Atascadero, and he is raising money for the Cambria Teen Center. And that's why I brought him on today to talk about those dual goals. Ty, congratulations.
How you doing,
Good
Brad?
to see you, man.
You too.
So you also are focused on the teens of San Luis Obispo County. I guess you could say your day job is at the Cambria Teen Center.
Yes, it is.
Tell us about that.
I've been working out there about 5 years, and I've been working with kids for 35 years overall. And I'm just seeing a problem in my work for the last 30 years of homelessness in San Luis Obispo County with teens. My census looked at 2009 as 1,600.
Our teens?
Yes, teens.
I mean, that's a massive number. That doesn't include preteens and tweens.
Right, exactly. So my focus is on teens because I don't think enough people talk about teens.
Talk to me about what you see day in and day out with homeless and near homeless teens.
Just a lot of kids that don't have direction, no place to go.
A thing that's close to my heart, which is the charity for the homeless teen shelter that I want to put together. And I've always said that a portion of my profits in my first couple years of the business going into licensing, we would donate some of that money to start a homeless teen shelter, a nonprofit organization for kids who don't have homes, counseling, all types of components to help them do some things when they get out of the program. So to give them some skills that they can make it where they don't have to go to junior college or college. Question is, I felt I've encountered a lot of obstacles in this area from a lot of different people, which I refuse to name, but it's been a struggle. It's been a lot of blackballing done to me as far as shows, breweries not wanting to work with us.
We've been invited to a number of shows, and there was a point where, other people in the area who also brew beer found out that we were being invited to shows, and they contacted the people that were hosting the shows, and the next thing you know, we were told that either they didn't have a space for us or they didn't think it was going to work having us there, and so we were kind of shut out of a few beer shows in the area. So that's been an obstacle for us, to get through. But Ty continues to get a number of invitations to shows all the time, and for a while there he had to turn some down. But we're going to continue. We don't let that stop us. He continues to brew, and we continue to kind of pick and choose the shows that we go to if we see it's going to benefit TNA Candy Beer.
With shows like this, getting known to who we are and what we're doing, and we're doing something unique with this beer in this kitchen, and letting people know that we're out there, and letting people know we have this product that needs funding, and getting out there. So our next step is right now to keep marketing on the internet. We will continue to do shows because we feel that's always a good thing for people to taste our product and get it out there that way as well. But we're going to keep marketing, keep being aggressive on the internet, trying to contact people like Invention Stories.
we're looking for angel investors or venture capitalist type of people that are looking at something new that could be the next big thing.
Never give up. It's going to be a struggle. I've looked at some internet sites of entrepreneurs that took 5 to 10 years, which blew me away because I've been doing this for like, what, 2.5, 3? And Judy's telling me, wow, you know, you've come so far in such a short time. So that also encourages me to know that it's taking people sometimes 5 to 10 years to get to their goal. So never give up. If you believe strongly in what you have, a product or a service, stick with it and don't let anybody tell you you can't. Judy always reminds me, you know, all it takes is one. So I keep that going. It's a lot of frustration at times, but every day's a new day, and every day's a new brew. So that's what keeps this whole thing going. That's how we do it in the TNA Candy Beer Kitchen. That's what goes on, and everybody's been wanting to know what's been going on lately. Well, this is what's going on. This is what's going on, and that's how we are. You know, that's what happens. So it's all fun. It's a great hobby. We love it, and one day it'll be on your shelves at your favorite store. So keep the peace on it. It's going to be happening.
Hello, I'm Troy Breedlove. I'm the founder of Noodle Brands. I think inventing has always been in my mind, you know, even as a younger person. Through life, as you go through your early days, you know, some of those things get pushed back and you don't do anything with it because you have to eat and live and you do what you have to do. But later in my life I was able to get more involved and chose to go forward with some of the ideas that we've had. So that's how we ended up with Noodle Brands. We started Noodle Brands when we decided to put our crazy idea of noodle ties to work for us. Instead of having one lace for each shoe, what a noodle tie is each individual eyelet has its own noodle, and it laces from eyelet to eyelet and up back upon itself. So it gives you the option of different colors, different styles, mix and match, the accents that we call them. They're removable. The idea of noodle ties came from it just hit me for whatever reason that we've been lacing our shoes the same way forever. There should be a better way to lace our shoelaces than just what's out there. And all the customization that's going on now in the world, everything is customized, everything is different, everyone can put their own accent on it. There's a lot of different businesses out there that would like to be more unique. It gives them an option, an inexpensive way to be unique. And it's fun. This is our first prototype, and it gives you an idea of what the soap cabana would look like. It's a little larger than our idea, and it's not colored yet. It doesn't have a living hinge. But this is similar to what it would look like, and the use would be, as you're showering, this is attached to the wall. And as your soap is not in use, you would use one hand with the bar of soap in your hand, open the lid, which is on a hinge, place your soap on the cradle, and it will automatically close, protecting your soap from the deadly drops of water. So water erosion has been an issue in my life with my bar soap, so I created the soap cabana. Soap cabana is my first invention that kept recurring because every time I'd shower I'd think about it, or most of the time, when my soap was being deteriorated by water erosion, I'd keep thinking, I got to do something about this, or there's got to be a way to stop this from happening. Probably for 10 years, it was on my brain what to do about it, and I come up with several simple solutions, and then we started developing our practical use concept by how will we turn this product into something that you could actually draw, because when you're trying to explain to someone what's in your head, and we found this out even after we had a very rough prototype, because I needed an artist, a graphic artist, to actually design the product so we could get a prototype made, and also so we could show it to potential manufacturers, because they don't want prototypes, they want drawings. And trying to make a rough prototype, I just used a DVD case, just molded it and folded it and cut it and heated it up, and it was very, very rough. But by taking that into a graphic designer, she was able to take that concept and come up with what our prototype pretty much looks like. We entered a contest, and in order to be part of the contest, they wanted you to submit a video. And basically what you did was you just showed them your idea, you submitted the idea, and it went through like a 4-week process of getting votes. We made 2 different videos, one for Soap Cabana and one for the noodle ties. And we entered a contest. From what I'm finding out now, marketing is the hardest part of it. The inventing is the easier part. So it was really good that we did that, because it forced us to put our product, bring it to life in a video, which has made quite a few people understand it now. Just trying to tell someone about it, because they're not thinking about it like most people aren't thinking about their soap, so it's not on the people's mind. So that is really how it came to be. Between the non-provisional and the provisional patent, you should know at that point, if you're going to spend the money to go through with it, that the product's marketable and that you're expecting a return on the product. And we believe that the returns will come on our noodle ties, so we are going through with that process. Do it. Just do it. As anyone who has an idea, you have to try. You have to at least get it out there and see if it's marketable. Do your research, make sure that you're not just, because there is money involved usually, and there's time involved. So any idea that you have that's worth pursuing, you need to pursue it. And the only way to have a reward is to take a risk. My name's Troy Breedlove, and I am an inventor. No.
My name is Craig Vetter, and I'm a designer, I'm an inventor, I'm an entrepreneur, and my heroes were inventors. My heroes were people that made things. And I can't tell you why, but that's what I became. I got into designing motorcycles because I've been riding them all my life. My father was a motorcyclist. My grandfather was a motorcyclist. When I graduated from 8th grade, my father bought me a motorcycle, a motor scooter. And it's just part of, it's part of the Vetter family. And ever since I had that, I always was looking for better ways to make it nicer, make it prettier, make it faster, make it, it's just what I do. That's what inventors do. You look at things to say, I can do better than that. And the motorcycle, my motor scooter, was the first case on 2 wheels of designing things. I designed things for that motor scooter. What I would like to see is a new class of vehicles made by our leaders, our political leaders. Right now we have motorcycles, we have motor scooters, we have buses, we have cars, we have taxis. There are all kinds of vehicles that our government has determined. And each of these vehicles can do different things. Trucks can go 55 miles an hour in California. cars can go 65 or 70 miles an hour. So these different class vehicles can do different things. So I would want to have a class of vehicles called freedom machines. It's something that gets 100 miles to the gallon. Because if you have such a machine, you get freedoms back that have been taken away from other people. Most people are limited to 55 miles an hour unless there's a diamond lane, unless there's a lane over on the left. If you got two people in the car, oh, you get some freedoms. You can go 60 or 65 miles. Oh, that's an example of freedoms for having two people in the car as opposed to one person in the car. Oh, well, what kind of freedoms would you have if you had a machine that really gave you 100 miles to the gallon? Well, you get to go faster than everybody else. You get to park closer to where you want to go than everybody else. You wouldn't have to pay as much in a license fee as everybody else. So a freedom machine would reward you for being a good citizen. And it would reward you by our government people giving back freedoms that have been taken away from everybody else for being a good citizen. You get 100 miles to the gallon, you get freedoms back that other people have forfeited. That's what a freedom machine is. It's a new category of machine. I don't care how many wheels, I don't care. All it is you get 100 miles to the gallon, you get freedoms that no one else has. That's what a freedom machine is. Here is a standard Honda Helix motor scooter, and all the Japanese parts have been taken off, all the body work, and a real streamlining has been put on. This is a streamlined motorcycle. Streamlining is only one shape. Streamlining is round at the front, round. Streamlining, pointed at the back. Come back here and look at this. Pointed at the back. This is a streamlined shape. There is no other shape that's streamlined. This is it. Round at the front, pointed at the back. And it's only as wide as it needs to be to cover me. If I made it any narrower, the air would hit me and be more drag. If I made it any bigger, it would be boring a bigger hole down the road than you need to and be taking more gas. So streamlining is the smallest shape that I can sit on and be comfortable. Round at the front, pointed at the rear. Real streamlining gives you things that don't exist on regular motorcycles. It gives you incredible wind penetration. You go through the air, you don't even feel you're going into the wind. You cannot feel it. And it burns gas like you're just hardly moving. But probably one of the nicest bonuses is the storage space it gives you. Look at this big space here that is empty behind all most motorcycles. It's storage. This will carry 4 bags of groceries. 4 bags of groceries. There's not a motorcycle in the world that'll carry 4 bags of groceries. And it's just free space. It's my shape. Any motorcycle could have it. And should. Inventors really ought to stick with areas that they know really well. I stick with motorcycling because I know motorcycling. I stick with energy because I've learned about energy. One guy I remember came in and said, "Mr. Vetter, I need advice on this invention. What is it?" He said, "Well, I've been watching waitresses, and they carry all these plates, and they carry so much, and I've invented this thing on wheels that will allow them to carry these things around." And then they wouldn't have to balance them. And I said, "Have you ever been a waiter?" "Well, no, but I watch and see what they do." I said, "You should go out and be a waiter first, and then figure out if this is something that would help your life." So you really need to have some knowledge about what you're inventing. You just can't just go out and be a generic inventor. I don't think. Maybe some people can, but you really need to be focused on something you know better than anybody else, and then see it through these eyes of an inventor. I see something different. An inventor sees the world very differently than other people. And I can tell you that when I see the world, I see it through different eyes than most people. I see things that are not there. I see things that could be there. I have found that it's real easy to solve a problem if you identify the problem and then go to work and make something that solves that problem.
Advice for aspiring inventors: there's nobody that's going to keep you from doing it. There's probably nobody that's going to be on your side either, because inventors, there isn't a single thing that I've done that was recognized when I did it as being anything worth recognizing. It's because inventors make things that did not exist. They make things to solve problems that most people don't realize they had. So if you're not going to be understood, you have to follow what you believe. You have to be never discouraged. You have to, and you're going to do it. You're going to do it yourself, and do it yourself. Don't do it with other people's money. Do it with your own money. If you do it with other people's money, he's going to say, "Well, Craig, you know, this isn't going to work. How about if you do it this way? Or this probably. How about if we do it like this over here?" Follow your own intuitions. Follow your own dreams, not somebody else's.
Most people want their life to have purpose. Maybe right now mine isn't urging you to act. Share your story. Maybe someone will read it, and what they learn will be the difference between success and failure. That will create jobs, solve environmental issues, or make something safer. Perhaps someone will want to partner with you, has a solution to fix what you can't, and that will have you working, doing what you love.